My name's Sarah Gaskill. I work at Melbourne Water in environmental water. Bollin is a billabong on the lower Yarra floodplain. It's a very important place for many plants, animals. It's got deep cultural meanings, and it's a great place that people just want to go for a walk. Yet the way that the water flows through the landscape has changed over time. So Bollin used to get water from the Yarra River, and as Melbourne's developed, it doesn't get the water it needs to be healthy. So we're seeing that the Bollin needs a little bit of water and some management to help it out to be healthy. Melbourne Water got involved with this project as part of the Yarra strategic plan, where it's identified as a high priority to re-engage watering for the billabong. And we've worked with many partners and stakeholders on the project, including the Wurundjeri, including Manningham Council, including Parks Victoria, DELC, the Victorian Environmental Water Holder. So it's a team effort. Melbourne Water's role in this project as the waterway manager is to look after the health of our waterways, wetlands and estuaries, and Bollin is a high priority wetland, so it's a billabong, so it's an old oxbow lake on the river landscape, so it's our role to be caretaker of river health for such wonderful places. For the current step in the rehabilitation, we went through a process where the partners and stakeholders got together and set out the management objectives. What did we want to know for the site to be successful? That was about establishing vegetation, managing weeds, etc. And from that we went to understand what water needed for the vegetation to be healthy. And in 2017 we actually put some water from the Yarra into the billabong, and that was with the Victorian Environmental Water Holder. We worked with them. And now we've been analysing the data to work out what a long-term solution is, so how the billabong looks after itself from the engagement potentially more from the river to look after it to be healthy. So we're currently at finalising that detailed design of what the final solution will be. I guess it continues on. So we started looking at the site in about 2016 in more detail. Many people have done work before this current project came along. We're hoping to do some works maybe next year in 2020, all being well. And then hopefully the billabong will look after itself as the river comes up. The water will come in from the river and water it when it's required. We'd like to see that we're looking after the health of the billabongs. It's very deeply significant to the Wurundjeri. From a cultural perspective, it's got some wonderful ecological assets there. Eels live in the permanent pool, there's wonderful vegetation. So we're hoping that we can provide a bit of water and a bit of management for that site to look after it into the future. I guess I turn every challenge into an opportunity. So when something happens on the project, it's like, well, let's make this to be an opportunity. It's great working with so many partners, and just trying to get everyone to the same page has been, I wouldn't say a challenge, it's been a wonderful opportunity to work together. So we just keep moving forwards and take everything in our stride. So the history of Billabong, I know what I have read, I know what I've heard from Wurundjeri. Wurundjeri have got many stories that are their stories that they're working through to understand some of the history. We know it was a very significant meeting place for the Wurundjeri, and in more recent years it's had its challenges as Melbourne's grown, as there was potentially cattle run through there in sort of the 30s and the 40s, so it's on a real big rehabilitation story. I think everybody can do their bit to support this project. It's simple things like putting litter in a bin, because we see a lot of litter coming down the Yarra, which then doesn't really make it for a healthy environment. So everyone can do their bit by putting litter in the bin. Everyone can do their bit by saving water. We're obviously heading into potentially a drier climate, so everyone can do their own bit by putting litter in the bin. That helps our native wildlife. It helps our waterways out, and by saving water, switching off the tap when you brush your teeth, everyone can do their little bit, and then you can go out and enjoy the wonderful environment that is the Yarra floodplain.